I just want to talk about something which I think, well, we'll find out whether or not you think this is of interest in terms of the KPA putting some money behind. Art therapy is something that has been used in a limited way around the hospital. Number one, for staff in particular, some staff have found it very useful in terms of keeping some sort of control over their frustrations. And I would think that amongst patients that are on dialysis, it is even more of a reason why many patients would be frustrated by what they have to go through on a regular basis to be kept alive. And that's why art is thought to have been a creative way of being able to improve people's mental, physical and emotional well-being by reclaiming emotions, developing problem-solving skills, increasing self-acceptance and cultivating resilience in a non-threatening environment when verbalizing might be too difficult. Now, the idea here is not dissimilar to the service that the kidney patients sponsored in terms of the complementary therapy service, which pre-COVID we were supporting the complementary therapists to provide services at some of the dialysis units for our patients to help them get through difficult sessions. And this is something that on a similar basis, the kidney patients could be looking to be supporting if we thought it made sense. Now, there's already patient work, there's already patient work going on wards throughout the Royal Free, and sessions can either be held at the bedside or they can be held separately with groups if the patients want to come in to find a room within the dialysis unit where people can sit together. And on those, if you look down to the items in red there, or the paragraphs in red, on the dialysis units, patients are being supported by caregivers, and the challenges of their illness, future sense of isolation, it all helps to, we think, to be able to keep them in a positive mindset through dialysis treatment. Researchers demonstrated that art therapy, sorry, my computer keeps on flipping. Art therapy interventions can help in acute hospital settings to decrease depression, improve physical functions, create a stable and positive sense of self, improve problem-solving skills. And it can help the healing process. Art therapy, as you can see here, provides the opportunity for those who are suffering from an illness to participate in an activity that helps tackle the feelings of isolation, vulnerability, and depression, often associated with long-term care. There are a number of testimonials that our patients have put through, which are all to do with the fact that patients have found it very helpful and stimulating. And there are some examples here about how people, the ones that have been able to take it quite seriously, have been able to put together a montage of some of their successful drawings. And of course, at different levels of standard, people can use this kind of skill to produce their own postcards, birthday cards, greeting cards, And people have even taken to put drawings onto records and put their messages, as you can see here. I won't repeat that. I am very creative, because you might get the wrong idea. But all of these comments are people that are things that people have thought was worth putting down based on their responses to this kind of therapy. Are there any thoughts amongst the group? Please put your hand up if you feel this is something positive. And Diane, good evening. How are you? Nice to see you. What would you like to say?
I just wanted to say that from my past experience, we've used art therapists and music therapists as well, which is slightly different, in schools to help support some children who've got emotional and social difficulties and have difficulties in expressing themselves. So it's really aligned with really what you've explained, that, you know, for different reasons, it's a different avenue for a patient or anyone actually to be able to express themselves. And I've really seen the benefit of having an art therapist. I really can't see any negatives at all, because obviously it's optional, but it is a way that a patient can kind of, rather than verbalizing how they feel, they can do it through art. I mean, with children, obviously it was different. They maybe did it through messy art clay, and that was how they expressed themselves. And that was telling the art therapist that they were feeling angry or upset, and they expressed it through using different mediums in art. So I think it's a fantastic idea to, if we were able to support that. So that's all I wanted to say, really.
Yes, great. Thank you very much. I mean, you know, I go along with all those thoughts. I think a lot would depend on how much it's going to cost us, and whether or not, I mean, when a project like this gets put to us, initially I've said to the people that have asked us if we would support it, let me just bounce it around, and I thought it was a good subject to bring to one of these meetings. But initially it would get put to the trustees, but we would need for the art therapy team to be able to tell us, well, what's this going to cost us? And of course it's how long is a piece of string, but in a way, you know, what is the minimum? How much would it cost for someone for either an afternoon, a week, or a particular, let's say, 2-hour, 3-hour session for a group of patients? And based on a cost per unit, we could then look at, well, could we afford to take this to different units? And we'd also have to find out from the patients themselves, would they be interested? But the interesting thing about, in my opinion, about patients being able to express themselves in a better way is that we're so aware, as you know, as what we're known as well-informed patients, and we get to listen to what patients tell us. And so often patients are fear being able to talk about their problems, or they if you were to say to them, well, why don't you take that to your named nurse, or talk to your, oh, everyone is so busy. But art is a wonderful way of being able to express those thoughts. And also it's something that, at least for a period of time, can remain on a piece of paper. And we also supported a project which can be found on our website, which is poetry, where patients, a couple of the units, were encouraged by nursing staff and therapists to write therapy and provide photographs for their poetry. And a lot of these examples are actually on the KPA website.